Haifa. The sky over the port is now open. The last Tamir interceptor in the northern sector was just fired. Stay with me, because the math that broke the shield, the cascade that follows a zeroed-out inventory, and the escalatory choice this forces is the story that requires telling. This was not a military penetration. This was a spreadsheet error reaching its logical conclusion. For 72 hours, the world's most advanced air defense system worked perfectly. It intercepted over 90% of incoming threats. But the objective was never to get through the shield. The objective was to empty the magazine. That just happened. The concept that failed was the technological sanctuary. For over a decade, a belief formed that technology could insulate a nation from the realities of attrition. This doctrine was born from the trauma of 1991 Iraqi Scud missile attacks. The entire multi-layered defense network was built on a core assumption. The assumption that conflicts would be short sprints, allowing time to resupply. The system was designed for a sprint. It was just forced to run a marathon. Let's talk about the arithmetic of attrition. Each Iron Dome Tamir interceptor costs an estimated $150,000 to launch. The incoming projectiles, standard Grad-type rockets, cost as little as $800. Even a more advanced Shahed-type drone cost only $20,000. This creates a crippling 75-to-1 cost disparity. For every $1 million spent by the attacker to launch their swarm, the defender must spend $75 million just to break even. This is not warfare. This is economic exhaustion, executed with kinetic tools. Let's talk about the depletion swarm. Hezbollah's arsenal is not a few hundred rockets. It is over 150,000 projectiles, enough to sustain high-volume fire for weeks. The swarm scenario posits a launch rate of 3,000 projectiles per day. Israel's total ready stockpile of Tamir interceptors is estimated between 2,000 and 4,000 units. 3 days of sustained fire could exhaust the entire inventory. The math does not work. T-minus 72 hours. The swarm begins, a sustained rate of over 200 projectiles per hour. Iron Dome performs at peak efficiency, but commanders report unprecedented expenditure. T-minus 48 hours. The countdown is no longer strategic. It is operational. T-minus 24 hours. Northern Command issues a log warn, a formal logistics warning that the stockpile is about to be depleted. T0. The final interceptor is launched from the primary northern stockpile. The command orders remaining batteries to go dark to preserve a handful of reserves. The defensive shield over northern Israel has vanished. Let's talk about resupply. The primary replacement mechanism is an emergency U.S. airlift. But that flight takes time the defenders do not have. Meanwhile, new interceptors cannot be produced instantly. The manufacturing process has a minimum 24-month lag from order to delivery. The inventory that exists right now is the only inventory that matters. There is no immediate replacement. Let's talk about the Cascade. The depletion of the shield is not the end of the attack. It is the beginning. This is a smaller wave using high-value precision-guided munitions. Target 1, the Port of Haifa. Drones strike and disable multiple container cranes. Without the cranes, ships cannot be offloaded. The flow of physical goods into Israel stops. Target 2, the Bazan oil refineries. PGMs hit key pumping stations and the primary power substation. Large fires break out. Fuel production for a significant portion of the country halts. Target 3, the power grid for desalination. A precision rocket destroys the substation. Water production for millions of people is immediately impacted. Not one target, 3 simultaneously. The military system failure is now an infrastructure catastrophe. And now it becomes a civilian collapse. The Joint War Committee of Lloyds of London declares the coastline a high-risk zone. Insurance premiums increased by over 1,000%, effectively closing the port. International airlines suspend all flights, citing the lack of guaranteed safe approach corridors. The state is now physically and economically isolated. Israel now presents Washington with a non-negotiable choice. Option A, an unprecedented emergency airlift, draining active U.S. military stockpiles. Option B, U.S. political cover for a massive preemptive campaign into Lebanon. A defensive failure has forced an offensive, escalatory decision. A threshold once crossed cannot be uncrossed. From this morning forward, this is what the empty sky means. It means the true target was never the shield, but the inventory sheet. It means a technological sanctuary is an illusion against brute force arithmetic. And it means the load-bearing pillar of modern defense is the depth of the magazine. The success of the Iron Dome created its own greatest vulnerability: the belief that technology could replace the brutal mathematics of attrition. That belief is now gone. The integration that makes a system efficient in peacetime is the same integration that makes simultaneous damage catastrophic. The system that kept people safe worked. The system that was supposed to supply it did not. The interceptors went up. The missiles came down. The inventory hit zero. Haifa. The port is silent.